Hi folks, welcome to the Sabre Zone. This is a video on this channel, if you're new, that always discusses what you said, how you said it, what you wrote, and how I expose it. So there you go. We covered all bases. I'm going to show you guys a clip that I ran into when I was browsing. And we'll talk about it. Here it comes. All right, shout out goes to Nordman. Nordman writes, he goes, we need a solid start from Comrie, and we actually need UPL to do the same in Rochester. Very good point, actually, very good point. We need to have a hitting mentality for the whole team to adjust to be meaner and at the same time not lose the transition game. A detail I think is underrated is getting a first solid pass out of the D zone. It would help the offense. Yes, of course. Which I think we did, Nordman, down the stretch. I believe that our passing coming out of our zone got so much better. We made so many more few mistakes. And Nordman makes a good point here, guys. He's talking about not just a solid start, how we got to get meaner, and how we have to have our transition game not hurt because we're getting meaner. This is going to be a key thing this year if the Sabres can do it. You know, can they do it, Nordman? That's the question. Can they do it? I don't see why not. Other teams have. You know, but it's a young team. You don't want to put too much on their plate. I get that right away. You don't want to say, okay, we got to change everything. No, we can't do that either. We have to keep this momentum going that we had to close out the season. And one thing I noticed with guys like Olofsson, and we've debated about Olofsson on here, he got meaner, I thought, down the stretch. Just more engaged, okay? I guess not meaner would be the right word, but he was more engaged. He was actually even going in front of the net, if you noticed, in some games. Not all, but some. So things were starting to change with some of the guys. I think when it comes to desire of winning, a lot of young fear will be lost. It'll just disintegrate as we mature and become a better and better team. You know, this goaltending situation we're in right now is questionable at best. It is. We got this guy coming in. Hopefully he can do the job. We don't know yet. We really don't. You know, some of you made some good points. Some of you said you weren't sold on Hutton. Neither was I when we got Hutton. But I remember when we signed the contract, I said, please don't let it be long-term. It wasn't. Please don't let it be like 6-7 million. It wasn't. I was happy. I said, okay, at least that. And when that contract collapsed on us, we didn't feel so, you know, it didn't really hurt us as much as some other contracts have. The Comrie contract's very friendly. That's one good thing, folks. I mean, we've got to, you know, if Comrie doesn't pan out like we're hoping, we don't really have to panic about it because we're not paying the guy a ton and he's got 2 years of term. It's just enough time to buy us not having the headache of having to find another goalie. Like, think about it. We're paying him double what we paid AHL goalies is really what we're doing this year. We're paying them like basically double what we paid some guys that were really, as far as we were concerned, most of us, AHL goalies. So we should be okay. We shouldn't be, I'm not going to say he's going to win the Vezina or anything like that, but if he can keep us competitive and maybe hit his prime, maybe the guy's got a prime that we don't know about. You know, let's face it, he's around Hasek's age when Hasek, you know, not that I don't want to compare, but you know what I'm saying. 27 is not so bad. It's not like he's 37, he's 27. And last I checked, I mean, I don't even know his birthday off the top of my head. But I think our goaltending will be good. Maybe not championship caliber, but it didn't have to be for Colorado. They didn't have to have a championship goalie to win the Stanley Cup, folks. This is why they, you know, this team is so in the zone in that playoffs. You guys seen the way they were hitting and the way they were playing. I mean, my goodness. I mean, they were just, it was a possessed bunch. Finally, they put it all together in one playoff. And it's not like I would say that they had terrible goaltending, but they had good goaltending. That was about it. They didn't need great goaltending to win that Stanley Cup. Now, I'm not going to say that's going to be the new norm. I'm a big believer that you have to have championship goaltending to win Stanley Cups. Colorado's an exception to the rule. They are this year. They were an exception to the rule. They had good goaltending, and it was enough to get them over the hump pretty easily, I might add. They won that cup pretty easily against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay just had nothing left in the end. They had nothing left. It's not like they didn't have that. I think it was their sheer desire that brought them as far as it did this year. That's what it was. So what Norman talks about here, we'll talk about the meaner part. Yes, the Sabres have to get meaner, without a doubt. The goaltending, I think, will be okay. I really do. UPL does have to take steps. I do want to touch on that before I go to the next thing. UPL does have to take steps this year. We need to know that we've got a goalie of the future here. We can't have this thing over and over and over, year after year, that he needs development time. He needs, by the time he's going to be ready to play in the NHL, he's going to be 26. No. He's got to show us something this year. Just something. If he can come in and do 25 games this year in the NHL, and a good 25, where we're all saying, oh, wow, this was very impressive, I think all of us would take that and run right now, really. If we can get like 15 to 20 games out of Anderson and 20 to 25 out of UPL and 40 out of Comrie, that would be, for me, the ideal scenario this year, I think. But goaltending, guys, I think we'll be okay. I do. I think Adams knows what he's doing with that, so I'm just going to leave that be. Now, the meaner thing for me is a huge one because we lack a lot of mean. And I think that, yes, the team can get meaner. They showed signs of that in the Heritage game with Toronto. I mean, that you've seen some nasty come out of the Sabres on some nights in some games. There was some nasty side to them. So I want to see it more of that this year, especially in games where we're winning. Not just games we're losing, games we're winning. I want to see that mean streak come out of them, even when we're winning games. I want to see that they're intimidating their opponents. We've got to have that happen. So I'll be looking for that this year. As long as we can get some really timely hitting, goaltending, I think it'll make a world of difference for this team this year. I really do. Let me just touch on what else you marked there, because it's not on the top of my head, Norman. You forgive me. I just can't. My head doesn't work that good. I've got a big day tomorrow, and this funeral. I'm trying to keep my head straight. Hitting mentality be meaner. Not losing the transition game. Yes. No, I don't think we will. I really don't think. Our transition game's only going to get better, if anything. I really do think so. Our transition game is really, is it at the 06 level yet? No, but it's on its way. I really do think it's on its way. And the pass out of our defensive zone, I thought we got a lot better at that late in the year. Really, we were not getting stuck in our zone anymore. And you've seen the times where there was nowhere to go. Remember how Dahlin would just flip it, just flip it out of the zone? Do it. I was nagging for the team to do that early in the year when they kept turning it over in our zone. At some point, guys, you remember, we were the worst team in our zone in the entire league at one point. But the way we closed out the season, no, we looked like a top 10 team coming out of our zone. We did, So helping the offense, yeah. The defense that we have now, I mean, when we've got guys like Power, and we've got guys, and you know what? I don't want to forget Yoki Haru. He took steps last year. Dahlin, of course, is a beast. He's going to get just better and better. I think Dahlin this year is going to get 70 points. 70 points. I wouldn't be surprised if he got 82, a point a game, really. I mean, he's that good, this guy. Once he started just doing his game, I found that not only was he scoring more points, he was getting meaner. He just was making confident plays. He looked like a magician with the puck, which we didn't see before. We'd always see him second-guessing himself. We don't see that no more. So things are starting to change with Dahlin. And I don't want to go in all the defensemen because it's untapped. We don't really know. We don't really know what to expect with our blue liners. I do think we're going to be much more improved, though. Those guys I'm talking about, my goodness, I mean, if we can, and Samuelson, let's not forget, can be that I guess that Scott Stevens of the Buffalo Sabres, like maybe not as good, but he kind of has that knack about him where when he's in the corners, he makes himself very, very present, this guy. So Kind of the way I'm looking at it too. We got to fix all these things, but they do have to gel together like you mentioned here. We really have to get the goaltending, we have to get meaner, and we have to not hurt our transition game by doing those other things. Of course, the goaltending will only give us more offense. You know, if we have good goaltending, we're just going to score more goals. Teams feed off that, so. I am done. Norman, that's it. Okay. Guys, I'm gonna try and throw one more video at you. I've got a few things I gotta run and get for tomorrow, and I'm all over the place tonight with this day tomorrow. So I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. I really can't make any promises. It's been a hectic week for my family, as you know, and I will do my best. I might just come in tomorrow and just slap a video together because I need to talk. I need to talk to you guys, and that's it. All right, folks. See you in the next one.